Welcome to the latest episode of Branding the Experience. We discuss ways where we can create environments where employees actually want to come to work and customers want to keep coming back. Hi, I'm Ken Bader, your host for Branding the Experience. I'm also the founder of Bader Training and Consulting and the author of the book, The Formula for Business Success Equals B plus C plus S, a discussion on brand, culture, and strategy alignment. And what we're going to talk about today is something that I don't actually talk much about in the book, and I want to cover today, which is what role does product play in the consumer experience in service organizations? Because a lot of the examples and analogies that I use, whether it's in the book or in my writing or in these videos, has to do with creating an experience, especially with service-based businesses, whether it's a restaurant or a bank or a hair salon or a spa or anything like that, where, again, the product isn't quite as important as the service or the overall experience. But obviously the product does have some importance because it's part of the experience. For instance, you can't go to a restaurant that doesn't serve food, right? You can't go to a bank that doesn't have checking accounts and loans. You know, if it's all you got is savings, then it's probably not worth it. You could put your money in a mattress or something like that. So what role does product play in the overall experience in service-based businesses? Let's take two examples. Let's take a restaurant and let's take a bank. I kind of joked about the whole restaurant thing in a kind of an extreme example, but I can give you a couple of examples where the actual product or lack thereof actually put the people that were creating the experience at a real detriment. A bunch of friends and I, years and years ago, we were at a steakhouse at a large Midwest city. And no, it wasn't Chicago. A lot of people know that I'm from Chicago, but no, this wasn't a steakhouse in Chicago. It was in another Midwest big city. And four of us sat there and we gave our order, which was basically some version of steak and potato. And a couple of us really wanted the porterhouse, and so we ordered the porterhouse. I was one of them. You know, hey, I like my beef. So so the waiter comes back about a minute and a half later and says, "Yeah, I'm really sorry to tell you that we're out of porterhouse." Well, you know, it's not even 7 o'clock on a Saturday night, and you're a steak restaurant, and you're running out of steak. So, you know, how is that going to create an experience? And then he comes about 5 minutes later, and he says, "You know, we're out of baked potatoes, too." And one of my buddies who has a similar sense of humor that I have said, "Well, why don't you tell us what you do have, and we'll start there." Because now you basically have told us two things that we wanted are not on the menu: steak and potatoes at a steakhouse. So, yeah, now granted, I did get another steak, they did have another type of potato, and we had a decent meal. But the point is, in the role of product, if you don't have the product that you are saying that you do propose to have, then it's going to really throw works into the experience and put the people that are offering the service at a real detriment. Now, you know, maybe that was just an off night and normally that doesn't happen. But on that night, yeah, I'll tell you, our waiter did a very nice job, and he even joked with us a little bit, put up with our sarcasm. And, you know, he had to work a little bit harder, had to put a little bit more effort, because the props in his particular job were not available to him, meaning the steak and potatoes, right? Because, you know, one of the things that I saw a couple days ago, Tillman Fertitta, who many of you know owns Landry's and Golden Nugget and McCormick and Schmick's and probably 27 other franchises out there, but I really enjoy his show, Billion Dollar Buyer, and his perspective. But he was on CNBC, and one of the things that he said is that retail is really in the entertainment business. And that's definitely the case when we're going to a restaurant. We can have food anywhere, especially if we're going to a sit-down restaurant, right? Because if we just are hungry and we need food, we can grab a sandwich at the grocery store, at the gas station. We could go to the drive-thru at McDonald's. But you're really looking for an experience. You're looking for entertainment. Yeah, and the entertainment doesn't necessarily mean violins or jugglers, but it does mean that there's an expectation of a certain level of service at this particular establishment. So we need to have the props in order to be able to create a show that's going to be top-notch. And even with banking, I have a tendency to work with retail and banking, even in banking a lot of times. And I see this with credit unions and some small community banks. We're so busy at the operation and finance part of the job that sometimes the marketing and branding goes by the wayside. And that's a lot of times happening with websites. I was working with a client and heard a story about a member coming into the credit union asking for a checking program that the credit union actually hadn't offered in close to a year. And the member said, well, I'm on your website right now, and it says that you have it. So you have to be able to create an experience with the right product. Or better put, don't put your quality employees who are providing an experience at a detriment by not having the product that you say you're going to have, whether it's on your website, on your advertising, or other branding. Hope that helps a little bit to allow your business to brand the experience at a very high level. And here's hoping that you're already doing that. Have a great day.